Hi, my name is Lorrie Young and I'm the clinical director here at Prairie Ridge. I want to welcome you to your experience here in our treatment program. We are very grateful that you have trusted us enough with your care, and our intention is to honor that in a very respectful way as you go through this treatment experience. My role today is to help to inform you about your legal and human rights as a client while here at Prairie Ridge. Prairie Ridge values the importance of protecting your rights and also making sure, first of all, that you know what those are. We're committed to protecting both your legal and human rights as you go through this experience. There are some basic rights that we want to make you aware of. These rights include the following. Number one, you have the right to respectful treatment and attention throughout your treatment experience. You should expect to feel like your thoughts and feelings are important enough to be taken into consideration when decisions are made regarding your care. We want you to be an important and integral part of your treatment decision-making process. Number two, you have the right to treatment that is individualized and meets your unique needs, and that is provided in words and language that you can understand. Treatment needs to be respectful of your personal cultural, religious, and spiritual beliefs. We believe at Prairie Ridge that there is no one way to go through treatment, and that it is our responsibility to help you to find what works for you. Number three, you have the right to confidentiality and to privacy and compliance with all federal confidentiality regulations. Privacy includes protecting your telephone and mail communications. The exceptions to this are in situations where your counselor believes that you are in immediate danger for harm, or you may pose an immediate harm to someone else. Number four, you have the right to be fully involved in your own treatment process. Treatment goals should be developed with you and should be meaningful to you. It is important that you feel comfortable asking any questions you may have about your assessment, treatment recommendations, and prognosis, and be involved in determining how your treatment proceeds. You also have the right to end treatment at any time, unless otherwise directed by the court. Number five, you have the right to affordable treatment. Treatment will not be denied to you due to your inability to pay. If at any time in your treatment experience you become concerned about any violations to your legal and human rights, Prairie Ridge has a grievance policy that we encourage you to follow. The grievance policy includes the following. Step one, you have the right to legal counsel. If you can't afford it, we will work with you to identify resources to assist you in obtaining legal counsel. Two, you are encouraged to talk first with your counselor, then with the program manager or the clinical director. If the concern is not resolved to your satisfaction, it is appropriate to then request a meeting with our executive director. Three, if no resolution is achieved through meeting with the executive director, you can contact the Iowa Department of Public Health, Division of the Health Promotion and Addictive Disorders, to file a formal complaint. Once again, it is the Iowa Department of Public Health, Division of the Health Promotion and Addictive Disorders, to file that complaint. Confidentiality is one of the most important rights that you have at Prairie Ridge. Protecting your confidentiality is a top concern for us. Your information is protected by federal confidentiality guidelines that include not only HIPAA, which is the confidentiality guidelines you might be familiar with at your doctor's office, but also the more restrictive Department of Health, Education, and Welfare Public Health Services, confidentiality of alcohol and drug abuse patient records, otherwise known as Federal Law 42 CFR Part 2. So what does that mean to you? Quite simply, it means that your personal and treatment information is not shared outside of this agency without your specific and written permission to do so. Sharing this information without your written permission is a violation of federal law. This prohibition applies whether or not the person seeking information already has information about you, has other means of obtaining it, enjoys official status, has obtained a subpoena or warrant, or is authorized by state law. Federal Law 42 CFR Part 2 supersedes state law unless state law is more restrictive. Disclosure requires your authorization or a very specific and difficult to obtain court order. We expect both staff and other clients to respect confidentiality. Failure to do so on the part of staff can result in immediate termination. Clients may expect immediate discharge from services. It is also unlawful for Prairie Ridge to enroll any client that is an informant for law enforcement. We recognize that information that is that private to you can be very sensitive, and we want you to be confident that you can safely engage in treatment without fear that that information could cause harm to you. Your confidentiality can be breached without your permission only in very specific situations. This includes situations where there is evidence that you are at significant risk of harm, such as reporting suicidal thoughts or intent, or in a medical emergency where information is given directly to medical personnel. We are also able to report to law enforcement anytime you commit a crime on our property.